I suspect my mom and my brother are sleeping together in secret for months now. I don't know if I'm insane, paranoid, or if something is really up. What I'm about to tell you is not fiction. It is extremely embarrassing to even type all of this here, which is why I'm writing it on a throwaway account. For those who think I'm making up the story I'm about to tell you, I get it. I am aware it does sound insane. I don't care if you don't believe me, but please tell me what you would do if you were in my situation. Please read everything before you reply to this thread. What happened? I'm 17 and I live in Western Europe. I live with my mom, my older brother, and my stepfather. My brother is 19 and is studying at university. He hasn't left the house since it's close to the university. My mother is a housewife and my stepfather works in a company in the next town. Over the last 6 to 8 months, maybe a bit more, I'm not sure, I've noticed that my mother and brother have been acting unusual. Well, not exactly weird, but rather out of character. For example, I noticed that my brother would help out our mom with the cooking, but only when our dad was at work, something he had never done before, regardless of whether my stepdad was around or not. One time, I barged into the kitchen and it looked like they were in the middle of something. There was an awkward silence too. This may sound strange, but I didn't suspect a thing at the time. The idea of my older brother and my mother having an inappropriate relationship didn't cross my mind back then. Another example, when our father was at work, my mother and brother would sometimes drive somewhere and return 1 or 2 hours later. I remember once asking my mom where they had gone, and she told me that they had gone shopping. When I asked what they had bought, she said they hadn't bought anything because the shop was closed, which was completely untrue. Another time, I asked why they hadn't taken me along on their trip, and my mom said she didn't think that I'd enjoy going with them to see the nearby lake, which was totally true, to be fair. There were other similar incidents like that. Again, all of this started happening recently, about 6 months to a year ago. None of these clues made me suspicious back then. However, what did alert me was something that happened a few months ago. It was a typical Wednesday. My dad was at work. I had finished school early, as I do every Wednesday, and I noticed that my brother was home early too, since his shoes were placed in the hallway and his backpack was in the living room. I was looking for my mother but couldn't find her anywhere until I got near the bathroom. I could hear the water running along with other strange noises. I still wasn't 100% sure what the noises were, but it sounded like someone was tapping on the shower glass window while breathing really heavily. It sounded more like someone was having trouble repairing something than anything else. I suspect my mom and my brother are sleeping together in secret for months now. I don't know if I'm insane, paranoid, or if something is really up. At that point, I wasn't freaking out yet. What troubled me was that they both came out of the bathroom at separate times and my mom lied to me about it. She wasn't aware that I saw my brother leave the bathroom after her. She told me she had been in the garden, but I knew that was just a lie. That's exactly when I started to freak out in my mind. The other major event that confirmed my fears happened about 3 months ago. I was supposed to stay at a friend's house for the weekend because we had a school trip and we were planning to leave together. However, I got sick the day before and couldn't go, so I ended up going back home instead. I returned early that morning. Apparently, my brother didn't have any classes until the afternoon, and my father had already left for work. Again, I knew my brother was home, but I couldn't find him. Everything started to make sense when I approached my parents' bedroom and heard strange noises again. I was 100% certain that she was having an affair with someone. I could hear faint moaning and clapping sounds. When I tried to open the locked door, all the noise stopped immediately and my mom came out sometime later. She seemed a little upset that I hadn't called to tell her about the change of plans. When I peeked inside the room, I didn't see anyone. However, about 10 minutes later, I'm almost certain I saw my brother come out of the same room. He didn't come out until they thought I was gone. In reality, I was hiding in the guest room at the end of the hallway and could see the hallway through the keyhole in the door. I couldn't clearly see his face since he sprinted out as soon as the door opened. I came out shortly after and went to the living room, and miraculously, he was there this time. What a coincidence, right? Current situation is, as of today, I still cannot confirm whether they have a sexual relationship or not, since I have not caught them in the act. At best, I am just insane and paranoid. At worst, she is cheating on my stepdad with her own son. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't want to ask any of them about it either. It is extremely embarrassing, and I feel like it would ruin the family if I even bring that up to any of them. My mom is 36 or 37, and I don't know how badly me learning the truth can impact her. I internally feel disgusted looking at them sometimes, but thinking there was even a 1% chance I am wrong makes it easier for me to move on with my life. I don't know if I should just look the other way or not. What would you guys recommend me to do?
There's a viral video where a couple has been together for 8 years years, and then they get engaged and the guy goes on a bachelor trip. The guy has his bachelor party at a strip club in Miami, and he ends up getting a lap dance from one of the strippers. He tells his fiance it was just a lap dance and that he didn't cheat on her, and she's like, I know you didn't cheat on me, but I'm still breaking up with you. So she calls off the wedding and breaks up with him just over the lap dance. So only a month after they break up, he is in feed posting the stripper, saying that she is the love of his life and that they have perfect synergy, etc, etc. It turns out he took the stripper's number after he got a lap dance the night of his bachelor party. A couple of years ago, I actually went on a bachelorette trip to Cabo, and we ran into a group of bachelors. The bachelor that was getting married was fully hitting on one of my close girlfriends. And not only that, but his friends who were there also had girlfriends that they were even living with, and they were trying to flirt with me. I told one of the guys that was hitting on me, I was like, hey, I'm basically taken, like, I'm in the process of getting back with my ex, and you have a girlfriend, so you shouldn't be hitting on me in the first place. This man proceeds to tell me that I am his exact type. And not only that, but my friend who was getting hit on by the bachelor that they were celebrating, he was telling her that he found my friend more attractive in terms of, like, she was in school studying to be a doctor, and his current fiance just sits at home and leeches off his money. This man was, like, scheduled to be married in a few weeks. I don't know about you, but when I get married, my man is not going to Cabo, Miami, or Vegas for a bachelor party. I'm definitely setting my boundaries when it comes to bachelor parties before I even get engaged.
So did y'all hear about that crazy ass story that's been going around TikTok? So apparently this young lady from New York City met this guy on a dating app, ended up agreeing to meet with him at a restaurant, and the date went really well. They ended up going their separate ways. Apparently, he ended up texting her or maybe calling her about how his roommate was not home and that he didn't have the keys to the apartment. So she ended up inviting him over to her apartment. Mind you, she doesn't know this man from a can of paint. And inviting him over. Anyways, we listen, we don't judge, right? So she ends up inviting him over to her apartment. He comes over. They vibing, they chilling. Everything is going well again. And she ends up getting tired. She realized that it's getting late, so she tells him, hey, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go to my room. You can stay here up onto you got a hold of your roommate, and so forth. She goes into her room. She locks her door. Okay. About a few hours later, after she was already sleeping, she hears a knock at the door. She then shouts out like, oh, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, do you have a phone charger? Because apparently my phone is dying or is already dead. She shouts out and says, there's a charger out in the kitchen. A few minutes later, she receives another knock at her room door. The charger is not working, is what he says. It's not charging his phone. So he asks her, listen. He asks her then, do you happen to have a phone charger in your room? Okay. She then, us women, intuition. Her instincts kick in. She dials 911. The cops come over. Long story short, they end up, I guess, arresting him because she didn't get out of her room at all, even when the cops got there. So apparently he's the one that opened up the door for them. He gets arrested. And check this out. The officer is telling her, hey, my name is Officer so-and-so. I need you. We have the gentleman in custody. We need you to come out to your living room because we want you to check out what's going on out here. What? She walks out to the living room only to see that her living room was covered in plastic. Plastic. What? And a toolbox, medical toolbox. Like he was about to go do some Jeffrey Dahmer, some fucking Dexter shit, some movie type shit that you only see in the movies, that you only hear about it maybe on the news. Because you got these motherfuckers out here that is fucking cuckoo, 7:30 crazy. Well, bless her heart, she's safe. Nothing happened to her, obviously. But, ladies, I need you to be more careful. If you are a single woman and you are between the ages of, it can happen to anybody. So let me not even say it can happen to between the ages of whatever. It can happen to anybody. Literally anybody. Y'all need to be careful because it's 2024. These guys are so fucking desperate. They would just do, and people are sick. Let me not even say guys, because it goes both ways. Because you got these sick ass motherfucking bitches that be ready to kill a guy too. So I need y'all to stay safe. Because this here was just one hell of a freaking story. I do not want to hear about the next female disappearing, getting kidnapped. I mean, we're going to hear it regardless. But I just hope that y'all be careful. Be very careful. Because it is fucking crazy out here. These men, these women, you got really people out here really sick in the head. Like, they really got some loose freaking screws up here. Like, a lot of people don't be caring. Y'all need to be careful. Take this and run with it. I hope everyone had a good holiday, because it is a day or 2 days after Thanksgiving. And throw out the motherfucking leftovers, because we ain't eating them leftovers 3 or 4 days later.
Did I ever tell y'all about that time that my decision to record a Facebook Live ended with me testifying in open court for a criminal trial? I didn't? Okay, well, I'm about to clean my makeup brush and I'm about to tell you about it. Many moons ago, I used to rent a house in a very small little city, and I lived next door to this interracial couple. One appeared to be a black man, one appeared to be a white woman. I say appeared because I'll explain that later. This couple loved to fight. Anytime they fight, I could hear them in my bedroom because our houses were so freaking close together. You could reach out your window and high five from dining room to dining room. And I could hear them going back and forth at all times of hours and all times of night. But this day, it was an afternoon. I was home because I worked midnight. I hear them arguing, and per usual, I'm a little nosy. I go to my dining room window and I decide to watch the show because now y'all outside. Let me figure out what the drama is, because y'all arguing too much and I just want to be in the business. As I'm looking out my window, I see her getting into her car. She's parked in her driveway. He's standing in the walkway, walking up to their porch, right? And I'm like, okay, she's leaving, fight's over. I see her slowly back down the driveway, but then she stops and turns her wheels to the left where he's standing in the walkway yelling at her. Next thing I know, she hits the gas. He's running across the grass. She's driving towards him, hits him. He rolls up the hill, rolls off the side. She drives him down my driveway and books it up the street. I see him get up yelling, "You stupid bitch," da da da, limping a little bit, but he seems all intact, right? So I'm like, oh, this shit's getting good. Let me pull out my phone. I was going to call the police, but I also lived in a place where everybody called the police. So I knew I didn't need to call the police. Instead, I decided to do the most childish and ghetto thing and get on Facebook Live. And as I get on Facebook Live, I'm telling the people the play-by-play. He just got hit by his bitch, and she's coming back down the street. She's coming back to the scene of the crime. Is she crazy? Next thing I know, he walks up to her driver's window. He's like, "You stupid bitch, you think you can hit me? Yeah. Breaks her window. I'm like, oh, it's getting good. Y'all need to chill out though, because all this glass in the street, what if I drive over and I get a flat tire? I'm not involved in this. All I am is the news reporter, and I'm just giving everybody a good midday delight treat. Not too long after that, as expected, many cop cars pull up, and she's in the middle of the street hollering, "Hey, hit me, arrest him. Hey, hit me, arrest him." And I'm like, bitch, I know you motherfucking lying. Mind you, I'm standing on the porch like this, full Facebook Live, really into it. The cop looks at me and said, "Oh, have you been recording this whole thing?" And I pressed stop. I said I didn't record anything, but it is posted on Facebook Live. Not gonna lie about that. You definitely caught me in the midst of a live broadcast. I did post it on Facebook Live. He's like, well, we're gonna need that evidence because she's claiming that he hit her, he's been beating on her. I was like, oh, is that so? Is that why she just hit him with the car? And yes, I said it. Because I'm not capping for no white woman. He said she did what? I said, I said that. I don't know. Just watch the Facebook Live. I don't have anything else to say. I have no testimony to give, and we can go from there. He said, ma'am, I'm going to need a statement. And I said, okay. Next thing I know, the crime scene rolls up. They are taking pictures of the grass, of the track marks, because you can clearly see where she drove across the grass, and she's getting put in handcuffs. And I said, well, this is a fine dandy day. I don't really care too much. I'm going to go inside my house. 2 days later, I get a knock at the door, and it's said white woman.
When I was about 20, I got in a fist fight with a guy in the middle of the mall because we were on opposite sides of a federal investigation, and then like 2 weeks later, he got blown up, like literally in a giant fireball. The reason we were beefing is because when I was younger, my best friend just started hitting licks all the time, and he knew this one guy who was very, very big. Like he made a fuck ton of money, but he was a really terrible guy. He treated women terribly, he fucked over all his friends, he was just a bad dude. So my best friend decided to run up on him. The thing is, the guy was so good at what he did and made so much money that the feds were watching him all the time. So when my friend decided to go run up on him, the feds were literally staking out his house at that moment. So when he went to do it, they got it all on camera, like they were dead to rights. So my best friend and the guy he ran up on both got arrested. But this dude had so much money that he immediately bonded out. And at this point in my life, I had just gotten out of jail. I was on probation. I was trying to go straight. So I was working at Chipotle in the middle of the mall, South Park Mall, which is a really big mall here in Charlotte. I was working there, and this guy, he comes in, and I guess he sees me working in the back. So he tells my manager, yo, tell him I said he's a bitch. So my manager comes back and tells me he said that. And I'm like, yo, if I go fight this guy, like, are you gonna fire me? And he was like, I don't know what the mall's gonna do, but I'm not gonna fire you. So I walk out into the food court and I punch him in the back of the head, and we get in a full-blown fist fight in the middle of the food court, in the middle of the mall. It just keeps going until this massive dude comes up behind me and he puts his arms like under my shoulders and pulls me off him. And we're both leaking, we're both messed up from the fight. And that's it. I had to go and hide in the back of the Chipotle until the mall closed, and then I had to change clothes and sneak out so that the mall owners wouldn't know that it was me who was fighting in the middle of the mall. After that, we beefed online a little bit. Like, I have this one archived Instagram post where I have like hundreds and hundreds of hate comments because this guy was just so well known in the city. I let it go, and that was kind of the end of it until like a week after that, he was going like 150 miles an hour on a motorcycle and smacked into the back of a semi truck and literally exploded in a giant fireball. And the video's online. Like, if you look up Mike Tavitt motorcycle crash Charlotte, you can see the video online. Like, it's literally like something out of a Michael Bay movie. It's like a huge explosion. Everybody in that story was being really fucking stupid. Don't learn from me.
Story time on how God revealed to me what this boy was actually doing behind my back in my dreams. So y'all, it's this boy I started talking to back in August of 2023. This ain't no new boy though. I've been to him since 2019 or whatever. So me being me, I'm like, okay, I'm single and stuff like that. I think I want to settle down a little bit. So I make a post to just make it know I'm single and, you know, what's up? What's tea? So the boy slid up on my post or whatever. We just got to texting, talking, and boom, we got to kicking it. And in the beginning, my intention was to just be sneaky links, strictly sneaky links, because I got trust issues. I don't got time to be trying to fall in love, you feel me? But he made me feel like I can get comfortable and I don't got to worry about none of that. So me being me, I'm just like, let me stop being stubborn and give it a chance. So y'all, the first few months was perfect. I'm talking about we talked every day, no matter if it was in person, on the phone, through text. We was with each other almost every day. We was texting every day, no matter what. So one day I was just with him, y'all, and I just kept seeing this contact pop up at the top of his screen. So me being me, I'm like, I can't get mad. Like, I just started talking to this boy. So, and he was showing me something on his phone. So I just kept swiping it up. It would just text back to back. I'm just swiping it up. And this was going on for like 2 days. So y'all, on the third day, I just kept seeing the same contact pop up nonstop. And I just got tired of holding my tongue. So I'm like, who is this? I'm asking him, like, who's blowing your phone up like this? And he was showing me something on his phone. That's why I just kept seeing it. So he ended up revealing to me that that's his ex or whatever. And mind y'all, before we actually got serious, we made a promise to each other that we was always going to tell each other the truth about anything, no matter what it is. So, of course, I'm disappointed. I'm like, why you ain't been told me? Like, everything could have been better, smoother. Like, nah, I got trust issues for real. So, long story short, he apologized, all that. We talked about it, we made up. Boom, I just let it go. He told me that they were just cool, nothing more than cool, and she stay in a whole different state or whatever. Like, she moved, she don't even stay down here no more. So I'm like, okay, cool, boom, let it go. So back to what I was saying, like I said, like late November, early December, stuff just started going downhill. It was just arguments every day. Like, we could not agree to disagree without getting into it really bad. And the crazy thing is, I already done caught feelings for this boy. Like, my feelings for this boy was so strong, like strong. And I haven't had feelings like that for anybody in so long. Like, we was locked in. Instead of being so quick to leave, I'm just trying to give it a chance. Like, okay, let me just see how this shit play out. You feel me? So we was having conversations, hashing out our differences, talking about it. We was working on each other. So I was like, okay, cool. Shit is working. So y'all, this is where things start getting real crazy. So y'all, I'm a spiritual person. I believe in manifesting, praying, all that. So y'all, one day I was just like, God, before I take this situation serious, please reveal to me if he's doing anything behind my back that I may not know about, or how he really feel about me. So a few days later, I had this dream. So technically in the dream, I had stayed the night at his house or whatever, and I had secretly like snuck on his phone to share his location to my phone, and I deleted it so he didn't know his location was being shared with me. So boom, he had left or whatever, and he was taking forever to text me back. Like, he hasn't texted me back all day. So y'all, I check his location or whatever, and like that little dot on the location thing, that thing was just moving. Like, he was just flying. I'm like, dang, like, where are you trying to get to that bad? So I just click out of it or whatever. I'm just like, I'll check it later. I'm about to go back to my people house. So I went back to my people house, y'all, and I checked the location again. So mind y'all, I've never had a conversation with his ex. I never seen her in person, none of that. The weird thing is about it, when I went back to go check his location, him and her, I don't know how her location got on there, but his location and her location was in the same exact place. Like, their dots was just like on top of each other. So y'all, he was in a whole different state in the dream. And the crazy part is, the state that she stayed in the dream is the state that she stays in now in real life. Mind y'all, me and him stay in the same state. She stays in a whole different state now, like she moved. And mind y'all, the same states that we stay in right now in real life is the same states we were staying in the dream. So y'all, in the dream, I track his location. I didn't even drive or fly. I teleported to this girl house. So I get to the house and I kick the door down, y'all. Why is this boy sitting on the couch? And in this dream, she stayed in an apartment. So I get to this apartment and I kick the door down. He's sitting on the couch. She's standing up. So I just get to cussing both of them out. I'm threatening both of them. I'm saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Nobody was saying anything in the dream. Everybody was just looking at me crazy, him and her, because it was just us three. So in the dream, I'm just like, I'm about to off this boy. You feel me? So I had slammed the apartment door. I had left and I had teleported back to my house. And I was going back to my house to get something to off the boy. So in the back of my mind, y'all, I'm like, she probably got what I'm looking for at her house. So I'm about to just go back to her house and off him. So before I was even able to get back to her house in the dream, I had woke up. So of course, I'm overthinking the dream. I've never had no dream about a boy I actively talked to and his ex together in the same dream, like literally. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to just let it go. You know, it's probably one of these crazy dreams that everybody have. So I didn't tell the boy about the dream or nothing, y'all. I just like squashed it, let it go. So fast forward to today. So off topic thing, I be going live on Instagram and stuff like that just for entertainment purposes. I like creating content. I like going live. I like talking to people. I like discussing stuff. Yeah. So today, on this random day, he decided to go live on Instagram. Mind you, he does not go live at all. That's the first time I've ever seen him go live, like since forever. So of course, me and being me, I hop on the live. So him and his homeboy was on the live together or whatever. So his homeboy referred to me as baby, and like that was my nickname. Like that's what he called me for his homeboy, because you know I was his homeboy female, whatever. So I got on the live and he was just like, oh snap, baby on the live. So I immediately knew he was talking about me, you feel me? So the boy I was talking to, he was just saying stuff like, I ain't got no baby, you know, stuff like that. So I dropped a comment in the comments and I was just like, hey, if that's how you feel, it is what it is, you feel me? I don't care. So y'all, I'm listening real hard, because you know some homeboys be slipping up and be saying stuff on accident. So I'm just listening. Like I stepped off the live for 2 seconds, but other than that, I've been on the live the whole, from when it started to when it ended, literally. So his homeboy ended up slipping up and saying both of your girls are on the live. So I stepped off the live for 2 seconds or whatever, because he was just like saying little nonsense, but that's something he always do. So y'all, I step off the live for 2 seconds and tell me why this boy gonna say, you know how I get down. So I'm like, what does he mean by that? And mind you, I'm talking about the boy that I was talking to. So his homeboy was just like laughing and stuff like that. Like, oh, like shocked, like, dang. Like, I know how you get down, bro. So I guess the boy that I was talking to saw that I had got back on the live and he ended the live fast. He's like, hey, bro, I'm finna end the live. And his homeboy was like, no, bro, just chill. And he ended it. So after he ended the live, I just texted him. I'm just like, dang, now you acting like I ain't your baby or nothing. Like, come on now. So boom, I click back on Instagram and y'all, tell me why I get this inbox from his ex-girlfriend. She was like, hey, how do you know? I'm gonna call him Purple. But she was like, hey, how do you know Purple? So in the back of my mind, y'all, I'm confused because he told me that he had told her about me. So that's why I never like pressed the issue or nothing, you feel me? So I'm just thinking like, should I tell her or should I just not respond? Because I really don't want to be in the middle of nothing. So I ended up responding and I just tell her what's been going on. So y'all, she ended up calling me. We got on the phone and we was just telling each other what's been going on from when I started talking to him till like right now, today. So long story short, he's been lying to both of us this whole time about everything. Like, he lied to me about her. He lied to her about me. Like, everything was a lie. The only thing he didn't lie about is her staying in a different state, her moving. That's the only thing he didn't lie about. So y'all, he called me trying to go off on me, talk about some, you happy now, you got what you wanted. So I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, why did you text her? Why did you call my ex? I'm like, I didn't text her. She texted me. So we just arguing and I hang up on him. I sent him the screenshots or whatever and he got mad and had blocked me on iMessage. So me being me, I just want clarity. So I'm trying to sit here and get an explanation like, why you been lying this whole time? Like, I told you, all you had to do was be truthful with me. I've been asking you for nothing but the truth. And we made a promise to tell each other the truth no matter what. So boom, I never got no explanation on why he did it, why he been lying or nothing like that. Only me and the girl had talked. So long story short, y'all, what I had asked to be revealed to me was revealed to me in 2 different ways. It was revealed to me in my dreams and in real life. And it was very unexpected. And if you ask for something to be revealed to you, it can be revealed to you in plenty of different ways. Long story short, y'all, what I had asked to be revealed to me was revealed to me in 2 different ways. It was revealed to me in my dreams and in real life. And the crazy thing is, the second time it was revealed was all because he went live on Instagram. Super unexpected.
Okay, so I want to talk about quantum immortality, why I think I died in 2023, a version of me died in 2023 in this car accident that I was in, and how our decisions create timelines. So back in 2023, I was in a car accident. I was sitting at a red light and this woman crossed over 3 barriers and hit me directly in my car door. That's not even the craziest thing about it though. The craziest thing about it was the fact that my boyfriend got into a car accident that same morning, literally less than a few hours before. And I'm convinced that, and I can't say like, oh, I know it wouldn't have happened if I didn't do this or if this didn't happen, because we won't know. There's no way to know. But I'm convinced that because of certain decisions and like odd synchronicities and just weird encounters that took place from the night before his car accident leading up to my car accident, I'm just convinced that like everything had to happen exactly how it happened. Because at the time, I was on the journey of literally being like, I need to become a different person. I want to become a different person. I was standing on it. And I didn't realize that what I was asking for required an entirely new identity from me. And what a lot of us don't understand is that when you actually decide to become a new person, you do not get to control what your reality chooses to recalibrate and reorganize around your new identity. Because when I was like, I want to become a new bitch, the universe said, oh, bet. All this got to go, though, because that's in alignment with your old identity. And so at the time, I was experiencing spiritual awakenings. I was experiencing getting some of my biggest manifestations. But I was also losing so much of what was attached to my old identity, right? So the night before my boyfriend's car accident, this was the main thing. This was the catalyst. His charger broke. And it wasn't bent, it wasn't broken, it just stopped working. Just randomly stopped working. And I remember asking him, I'm like, do you want to charge your phone on my side of the bed? And at first he goes, no. And I remember hearing, I was going to say, are you sure? But something in me was like, don't say anything. And we just sat quiet with each other, maybe like 3 seconds. Because he was contemplating, I was contemplating. And then he was like, actually, yeah, fuck it, throw it on the charger. And I was like, okay, bet. So I put his phone on the charger, we go to bed. I'll never forget, it's 7:42 in the morning the next morning. His alarm goes off, but I know it's way too early for him to be getting up to go to work. So I snooze the alarm because he doesn't wake up. I snooze the alarm because I know he has multiple alarms set. The phone never went back off. Either it went off and we didn't hear it, or it just never went back off. Either way, he woke up. He was late for work. It's like 9 o'clock at this point. He gets up. He rushes out of bed in like 10 minutes. He gets out, leaves in like 10 minutes, right? So I remember feeling so guilty because I'm like, damn, like I literally snoozed the alarm. Like, this is my fault. And I couldn't fall back asleep. And I remember something telling me to check his location. And so I go to check his location and I see that his dot is like stopped. And it looks like he's stopped as he's getting on the highway. And so I text him, I'm like, hey, you good? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, but you made it on the highway though, right? And he's like, no, I just got into a car accident. Like, nigga, what is wrong with you, bro? Like, why didn't you lead with that? Why do I have to pry that out of you? Like, huh? And I was like, oh, like, are you okay? Like, what's up? And he was like, nah, I think I'm good. He had just rear-ended a car getting onto the highway. And so he was like, I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I can drive. I'll be good, but I'll let you know. 10 minutes later, he calls me. He's like, nah, my car's fucked up. I gotta get a tow truck. Can you come get me? And I'm like, all right, bet. So we wait on the side of the road for maybe 2 hours for a tow truck. He calls his insurance. His insurance is supposed to be sending a tow truck. This is the first weird encounter that happened on the way to my accident, right? So finally, after about 2 hours, a tow truck pulls up. Mind you, the tow truck is supposed to be free because it's through insurance. He's like, it's going to be this much. We're like, what? Like, what's going on? Why? Nonetheless, he pays it. We leave. We get back. I remember this is a decision that I made. I asked him, like, do you want pizza? Like, do you want anything to eat before you go into work? Because there's a pizza spot right outside our crib. He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, bet. So I go, I get the pizza. I come back to the crib. We get a call. It's the tow truck from the insurance company asking us where we at, where you at. And we're like, huh? Like, what's going on right now? And we're like, but we just got a tow truck. And he's like, well, it wasn't me. Like, I don't know who that was. And so we were like, okay, like, I guess, bro, whatever. Weird, right? So then I'm getting in the car, go to take him to work, right? I remember I have hit the address in my GPS. I missed the exit to get onto the highway. And I'll never forget, I'll go to pull into a parking lot to turn around so I could get back on the highway because it's right there. The parking lot is literally right there. I'm going to just turn around, get on the highway. I'll never forget my boyfriend. He goes, nah, you're good. Just keep going straight. It's going to take us out. This way is going to take you out the same way the highway would. And I remember being like, you sure? And he was like, yeah, we're good. I'm like, all right, bet. And the energy of this entire day was so odd. Like, my boyfriend was having financial problems at the time, so it was like, I know that his car being fucked up was just another burden on him. And for some reason, like, I was oddly neutral about everything. I was super calm and I was very positive, and it was like pure positivity. Like, it wasn't no like just being overly positive, like it's okay. Like, it was just, I was in a neutral state, you know. It was very odd. I'll never forget the energy that was like resting within my body as the day continued. And so I remember even I had Andre 3000's new album playing in the car at the time, the Frequency one. And I'll never forget, I remember we pull up, we're 5 minutes away from his restaurant. I'm sitting at the red light. I go to respond to my cousin, and then I go to look up to see if the light's gonna change because I'm the second car in line. I'll never forget, I see something out of my peripheral vision, but my awareness never turns. And I go to look at the light, it's still red. I look down, I go to respond to him, and there's just this, like, if you've ever been in a car accident, you will never forget the crunch of it. Like, the crunch is something that is one of one. It's one of one. I would have paid to see the person behind me's perspective of what the hell it looked like when she hit me. Because to this day, I still don't know how Shamoy hit me. Like, dead ass. I don't know how this bitch from Florida with no insurance hit me, just driving reckless, for real, bro. I don't even know why they didn't arrest her on the scene. Because she crossed over 3 barriers directly into my car. The door, she slammed into my car door. The only thing on my car that was touched was that door. And mind you, I'm going through spiritual awakening after spiritual awakening at this time. You know, I've been very like open about my journey on social media. Like, if you've been with me, you know that I've been manifesting this. Like, the life I'm living right now, I've been manifesting it. I'm talking about, it's been on my vision board since before I even started. And that's what I was getting. I was beginning to live out my vision board at the time. And so as my reality is like recalibrating, my awareness is recalibrating, my spiritual gifts are heightening. I didn't even know I had the gifts at the time, but I'm getting closer with God, and I'm like, yo, this gotta be a sign, because ain't nothing on my car is touched but this door. This is for me. It's gotta be for me. And I'll never forget, my uncle had passed away maybe a month before, and I'll never forget feeling like, my uncle was a really big dude, and I'll never forget feeling like a bubble over me in that very moment. It was just like a bubble. And then I just remember being like in shock for a second, because the window shattered, but there was no glass on my seat. I wasn't touched. The door stopped right here on me. Like, for real, the door stopped right here on me. And I'll never forget just being in shock, sitting there, because it jerked me to the side, and I'm like processing, like, okay. First of all, my car's fucked up. I know it's done, but what is the odds that my boyfriend got into a car accident the same morning? What's going on? What is going on? And then I'm thinking like, yo, the only reason why I'm here right now, I'm still resting in this state of awareness, is because my awareness did not turn when I seen that car coming. Because if I would have turned when I saw in my peripheral vision, because what I saw was her car. If I would have turned and seen a car coming directly at me, it would have been over with. I would have died for real in this reality. Because my brain would have been like, oh, fuck, it's over. Because I couldn't go anywhere. There was a car next to me, a car in front of me, a car behind me. It was over. And I'm convinced a version of me died in that reality, and this version of my awareness got to live out my mission in this one. If you stay with me, I love you. Thanks for witnessing me.